Já jsem Ondřej Novák, šéfredaktor portálu Obnovitelně.cz a zdravím vás u dalšího dílu podcastu Pod Proudem, který připravujeme ve spolupráci s Aliancí pro energetickou soběstačnost a Svazem moderní energetiky. Já tady tento dnešní díl jenom kratičce uvedu a už za chviličku předám slovo svojí kolegyni Táni Mindekové z Aliance pro energetickou soběstačnost, která bude moderovat dnešní diskuzi o iniciativě nebo projektu Slunce pro Ukrajinu. To dnešní povídání bude celé v angličtině. Pokud anglicky neumíte, tak si pusťte verzi na YouTube, kam nahrajeme video i s titulky. A teď už Taťána Mindeková a projekt Slunce pro Ukrajinu.
Hello to our regular listeners and viewers of this podcast Pod Proudem, or in today's English version Under the Current. My name is Taťána Mindekova. I'm working for the Alliance for Energy Self-Sufficiency, and today we have a very special episode here in this podcast and also on the YouTube video, because we have guests here who came all the way from Ukraine to talk to us about this amazing initiative. It's called Solar Aid for Ukraine. As we know, even as we are recording this podcast, the war in Ukraine continues, and the energy infrastructure in Ukraine often suffers from the Russian attacks. Often also really important buildings like hospitals or water management facilities are being affected by these attacks on energy infrastructure. And today here with me we have actually guests who work on solutions to this energy infrastructure troubles. So I will welcome our guest today. I have here with me today Natalia Holodova, who is working at the Eco Club, and she's been working there on various projects for more than 6 years now. Hello and welcome to our podcast.
Hello everyone.
And we also have Julia Huzi, coordinator of the communication department, and she's regularly communicating with media and spreading interesting messages about the amazing work you do. So I'm excited to also welcome you here today.
Hello, thanks for having us today.
So I already briefly mentioned what the initiative is about, but I would like to give a little bit more space to you to introduce the initiative and tell us more maybe how the idea came about and what you actually do.
Yes, so as you mentioned, thank you again. We are from Eco Club. We are a non-governmental environmental organization from Rivne. It's a western part of Ukraine, and we have been working more than 27 years and helping Ukrainian municipalities adapt to climate change and their energy transition. We help them deploy renewable energy sources, install solar power plants for critical infrastructure like hospitals, water utilities, other facilities. Also, we help them adapt to climate change. We provide trainings, consultations for them. And we have environmental impact assessment district. We are analyzing environmental impact assessment reports of different facilities, potential polluters, and provide comments to this. Before the full-scale invasion of Ukraine, we were actively cooperating with municipalities in their energy transition and help them adapt to climate change. But of course, the open war partly suspended almost all our activities. So we started to provide humanitarian aid for our municipalities because this is our main audience. And we closely cooperated with charitable foundation Wirwerk, which is based in Germany. So the humanitarian aid became like the most important part for half a year, I would say like this, but we are continuing to with this initiative, Solar Aid for Ukraine, to provide this humanitarian aspect for our municipalities. Yes, and you mentioned
I can add.
Yeah,
I can add about this next campaign. You just said that we started with humanitarian aid, and then we like little by little switch to solar energy. We start receiving like batteries for our phones with small solar panels, then a bigger one, and in the middle of the summer 2022 we had like this request from one charitable foundation that they want to collect money and they are looking for some goal, and that's why we started to prepare the list of hospitals who need solar power station. On that time, Russia still they haven't bombed our energy infrastructure. They bombed all oil depots, but we felt that the energy infrastructure will be the next, and that's why we started to think about energy independence of critical infrastructure in our communities.
That's very, very interesting, and thank you for the rundown. Like, I can see that you are doing many important and interesting activities. But yeah, let's go a little bit back to Solar Aid for Ukraine. In Czech context, people might know it as Slunce pro Ukrajinu. And maybe what were your most significant achievements of the initiative? What would you consider as the biggest win of the project so far?
Since the beginning of 2022, we installed almost 1 megawatts of capacity of solar power plants. And in total, it is more than 20 solar power stations on hospitals, water utilities, and other admin buildings, but mostly hospitals and water utilities. So this is our main achievements, that finished projects which already now generates electricity. And on our website, Eco Club, you can see the on-time, real-time calculator of generated capacity. But in addition, we also help communities to develop different kind of technical documentation, because last year we haven't had enough money for all projects, but we have a lot of requests from communities, and we started to work on this documentation, and we developed around 100 different kind of technical documentation, like pre-feasibility study, feasibility study, project design, and estimate documentation. And this year we are using that documentation to do this real projects, because when community have calculation what they exactly need, it is easier to find money, and it is easier to find equipment or even to allocate money from their own budget if they have that to do such project.
I understand. Perfect. Well, I work for Alliance for Energy Self-Sufficiency, so my understanding of why renewable energy is so important for energy security and other purposes is quite detailed, but I'm sure that this is not the case for everyone, and I'm sure that you also maybe sometimes encounter these arguments that, maybe there should be other priorities right now in Ukraine. So I'm interested in what are your arguments on this. What would you say to such opinions? Why do you focus on solar and renewable energy right now?
Actually, now all Ukrainians understand the importance of renewable energy. Before the war, it was not easy to persuade municipalities that we need to create a renewable energy strategic plan, how you switch, how you reduce CO2 emission, and etc. Now everyone wants renewables. Because it is about our energy safety, energy independence. Now we cooperate with communities, and if this community install one solar power plant, the next one will be very soon. What are benefits? I don't know, I think you know that Russia now destroyed almost 90% of destroyed, either damage, almost 90% of all thermal generation in Ukraine, 50% of hydro generation, and occupied 1 nuclear power station. So in Ukraine now we feel lack of electricity. Even during the summer, when the consumption, during the spring, when consumption was very low in compared to summer and winter, we have this regular power outages. And they are saying that this winter will be the hardest for Ukraine. This is the main reason for us for now to install renewables on critical infrastructure to make sure that hospitals, like small part of hospitals, we don't do this like big projects. We do small projects to make sure that few operation rooms in the hospitals will have this electricity when it's necessary. And also the same with water utilities. Renewables when we don't have electricity at home, like at city, this means no electricity on our sockets, but this is not the main problem. The main problem is that we don't have heating, we don't have water, we don't have canalization services. And solar power station on such objects will have to provide such necessary services to citizens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also one more thing I would like to bound with the previous question, that maybe the biggest achievement is the priorities of municipalities. The first, it was probably the pilot project in 2022. We helped Zvyahyl municipality install a smaller, 32 kilowatts solar power plant for a hospital. And at first, the municipality didn't believe in this project. Okay, probably it would help us, but at least we have a diesel generator, so we can be more safer, of course. But in the first year, they saw the benefits of the work of the solar power plant because among the energy security for the clients, for the visitors of the hospitals, the solar power plant also helped them to save money that they allocated for the next energy efficiency projects. And this solar power plant helped them to believe in the power of solar energy, and they developed renewable energy development program for municipality. And they, if I'm not mistaken, please correct me, they have 4 more solar power plants, and they continue to strengthen their energy security of municipalities. So there is no need to explain to another municipality the benefits of solar energy. And as Natalia mentioned, we have collected more than 600 requests for municipalities, and in some requests, when we are asking municipalities, why are you applied to us? Why are you requested for this help? They say, no, because we saw that Zvyahyl municipality is pretty successful in this. So why not we? Why we can be? And I think this is the biggest achievement, because there is no need to explain right now municipalities and convince them to deploy renewable energy sources. They already understand, they already see the benefits, and the ordinary residents of municipalities, they also understand the benefits. So we see the demand of ordinary people to deploy the RES in municipalities, and I think that's pretty of success.
Yes, I definitely agree, because it's very similar also here in Czech Republic, that once you have projects that are running and are successful and you can showcase the positives, then other people get more interested in it, and it's kind of this snowballing effect. So yes, so congratulations to that. You already explained to me a bit how it works in Ukraine with the municipalities, but what are your other partners? So are you also cooperating with international partners, with maybe solar companies? Can you maybe explain and talk
can start
about that?
Yes, so we have different donors, foreign donors, and from a British company Oxfam to different embassies like German embassy, European Commission, but also I would like to tell a little bit about our fundraising campaign, because our initiative, what is most important, has one of the aims is advocacy aim. And thanks to residents of EU, we collected funds for the first solar power plant. It's not the first solar power plant in general. It's the first solar power plant. We collected money during the fundraising component. It was in Sumy. And right now, this solar power plant also shows the benefits and helps the municipality in their better energy security. And we had a fundraising campaign before Christmas, and we told the whole world about the importance of help in installing renewable energy sources. So we urged 10 mayors of Ukrainian municipalities and asked them, what are your messages to the world? What can you say to the potential donors for residents of EU? And we created a small advocacy video, and it actually helped us to fundraise money for a solar power plant that will be installed in the Lviv hospital. Right now we are preparing documentation for this, and right now we are collecting money for another hospital. It's in Zaporizhia region. So this is the only one hospital who serves small patients, and the importance of uninterrupted energy supply, very highly important, because, as Natalia mentioned, that Russians occupied one of the largest nuclear power plant in Europe. And Zaporizhia also suffers from constant power outages. So uninterrupted energy supply is needed to at least provide the basic services for small patients. And right now we actively cooperating with Czech organization Nesehnuti. And charitable foundation Výpadky. They are helping us to fundraise money for this activity. And I think that's, if we're talking about potential partners, among the biggest donors, we would like to thank ordinary residents of EU, because they understand the importance of these projects. And when you can actually see where your money goes for such activities, you can be sure that you also contributed to the future victory of Ukraine and of our energy independence. And I think that's the most important part of this activity.
The campaign you mentioned, the video with the mayors, I actually seen it. I can confirm it's very good. And also, I would like to ask maybe the viewers, the listeners, to check it out. It's available on the Eco Club website, so definitely give it a look. I found it very motivating. Thank you for describing all these different roles and partners. And yeah, you already mentioned that there was a lot that went good, that was successful, and you have other plans for the future. But I'm sure that there are still some obstacles you face, maybe some issues. I can think of maybe lack of support, or maybe you would like some partners to be more proactive, or international cooperation can be quite tricky. But I'm just interested in your opinion. What do you find as the biggest obstacles right now?
I believe that the biggest obstacle right now is a very high demand and very low capacity to do such project. Now, as Yulia mentioned, we have requests from 400 Ukrainian municipalities. This is 1/4 of all Ukrainian municipalities, and we're a small organization actually. A club, we have 20 people who work in our organization. So, and we have requests from 1/4 of all Ukrainian communities to do renewable project. We don't have enough people. Even if we had all money in the world, we don't have enough people to do such project. This is our obstacle which we face now. Of course, unfortunately, we don't have all money in the world, so we also have a lack of finance to finish such project. And this campaign to raise the money will help us to finish this project in Zaporizhia, and then we can switch to another project from our list of 600 projects from 400 communities. Also, I don't know if our audience can help with that, but we have capacity of lack of capacity of municipalities who can also do such projects by ourselves. And now that's why we are here in Prague, in Berlin we'll be in Berlin on this recovery conference to promote that all reconstruction projects should be with this capacity building part, to make sure that municipalities can do the next projects by their own without Eco Club or other supporters.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. I think you already talked about the organization Nesehnutí and your cooperation in Czech Republic. But can you maybe tell me a little bit more about what are your plans with the Nesehnutí as the Czech organization? We mostly have a Czech audience, so I'm sure they will be interested to learn a bit more. Also maybe about the cooperation with Czech companies in the past, or your plans for the future with the Czech organizations.
Yeah, I would say that they have also the same priorities as we do, because it's not only about helping Ukrainians in such a tough times, but also about reducing the human impact to climate change, because all the people around the world are right now suffering from the climate change. And Nesehnutí actually helped us a lot, because thanks to them, they helped us to find partners to install solar power plant for Žitomer hospital, and the private Czech company SolSol, they provided equipment for the installation of solar power plant. And right now, Žitomer having this solar power plant, if I'm not mistaken, it has been operating for more than a year. They want to broaden the capacity of the solar power plant, and we have already had plans in another projects regarding the broadening the capacity of the solar power plant. And of course, we have a lot of requests from municipalities. So our aim is, the general goal is the energy independence of Ukraine. And we know that we can only achieve it by developing decentralized renewable energy sources. So if each of municipality have its own decentralized smaller power plants, or for example heat pumps, it is easier to completely switch to 100% renewables, as right now I think not only Ukraine but in other countries of EU or around the world are striving to its complete energy independence and abundance of fossil fuels. And that's what we do. We will try to cooperate if we will manage to complete this project. I should be more positive. And I hope that all people around the world understand that the better future depends on us, and renewables, it's not only about saving money, the success of municipality, but also about our security, about reducing the CO2 emissions. And it's safer, it helps. It also, the installed solar power plants in municipalities and the completed projects with Nesehnutí, other partners already show the benefits, and there is no need to explain why it is needed. And I think it's great to showcase such projects, because we are going to recovery. Some municipalities already have started the rebuilding process, and Eco Club, other NGOs, we are sure that the recovery of Ukraine should be sustainable. It should be better than it was before the full-scale invasion. And we are showing with this project that Ukraine are ready for help. We probably, as Natalia mentioned, right now, we don't have such capacity. Municipalities don't have such capacity to implement such projects by themselves. But Eco Club, Nesehnutí, and other partners, we are actively cooperating with municipalities. We are like a bridge between municipality, Ukrainian government, and partners. And we are here to make our recovery sustainable and help municipalities in their energy independence.
I can add a few words about our cooperation with Nesehnuti.
Please, Natalia.
Nesehnuti really helps us right now to do the campaign to collect money for Children's Hospital in Zaporizhia. So we have open fundraising this campaign, and we would be very thankful if your audience can donate or share this information. Even like €5 would be very good addition to this main goal. Also, Nesehnuti helps us to cooperate with Czech business. They are looking for companies who are working with the solar energy topics, but not only solar energy sphere. Yes, and cooperate to manage their support of Ukrainian communities. For example, right now we're talking about some company which have plans to donate 100 kilowatts of panels. They thinking about this donation, and we will hope that they will do that. So Nesehnuti also help with that. And this our trip to Prague was organized by Nesehnuti. We have an advocacy trip. We have meetings with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, with the special representatives on Ukrainian reconstruction, and also visit different conference to talk about our projects to promote this development of decentralized renewable generation in Ukrainian communities.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for this summary and for covering all the different partners, but also all the different reasons why such initiatives are important. I think we are slowly running out of our time, so I think I will slowly start thanking. First of all, thank you Natalia, thank you Julia for coming here, for finding time, and for being great guests and answering all the questions with a lot of detail. Thank you for that. But also thank you for listening to us and for watching the video if you are watching us on the YouTube. I think next episode of the podcast Pod Proudem will be again in Czech, but this was a very special episode. And I would also like to mention that more information will be available on the Nesehnuti website, but also Eco Club website or Solar Aid for Ukraine. In Czech you can find more information when you look for Slunce pro Ukrajinu initiative. And I will just highlight what the guest already said. It's a really important initiative, so let's try to help buildings that really need new energy sources, and what can we wish for other than having it with renewable energy in the future. So thank you again.
Thank you for having us here. It was a very interesting discussion, so I hope your audience like it, and we would be glad to discuss it later.
Yes, thank you, and hopefully see you in the future again.
Thanks.